Update. Am I the a-hole for calling my coworker work sister after she called me work husband in front of everyone? Original post. I, 34 male, work in a small office and we have about 30 people working here. Mary, 35 female, is one of my coworkers. We have been working together for 6 years now. We have 6 people in our department, and we have to frequently travel across the state as our work involves overseeing government projects. Although my travel partner changes based on the project, Mary and I are generally put on similar projects and enjoy each other's company. My wife also likes Mary. Overall, we have a very healthy work relationship. On to the incident. Yesterday, we had a happy hour in our office, and we were all drinking after work hours and chatting. It was a group of around 10 people that stayed back. Mary was blabbering about how we both have been traveling together so much in the last year. She was roasting me for my habits while traveling, like always forgetting stuff in my hotel room, being sweaty and stinky when I join her for breakfast in mornings because I go to hotel gym. Everyone was laughing and she was making it sound how unbearable I was to tag along. All in good fun. I also told some funny and sweet stories about her and agreed with her saying that I can be difficult to be with sometimes. Mary came to me and hugged me tightly and told me that she loves me and I'm her work husband. It was all innocent on surface, but she might have been a bit drunk and just didn't let go of her tight hug. Also, I hate that phrase, as I do have a wife that I promise to be with forever and not just in non-working hours. After a few seconds, I started becoming uncomfortable and also saw a few people staring at us. So, to diffuse the situation, I took her hands off my shoulder and told her she was my work sister, and that is why I love to annoy her so much. That seemed to have upset Mary, and she left and went back to her desk and was sobbing silently. I tried to apologize to her, but she told me how embarrassing the whole situation was. She said that she just meant work husband in platonic way, but me calling her work sister made her sound like a creep in front of the whole office. She was also angry that I aggressively removed her hands from my shoulders while hugging. I tried to reason with her that I do not like the work husband phrase, and also people gave dirty looks when she said it. So, I was just trying to make sure people do not take her words in the wrong way. We talked for a few minutes afterwards and Mary calmed down. She hugged me again and left. I felt really guilty afterwards because I can see Mary's point. I made her sound like a creep by implying that she meant something inappropriate when she called me her work husband. However, I was a bit uncomfortable in that situation and just did not want people to call us that or assume something wrong. Am I the a-hole for calling Mary my work sister? I am sitting in my office writing this and a bit worried if I embarrassed Mary in front of everyone. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Not the a-hole, though you are being far too generous. The reason why she jumped straight to thinking you were calling her a creep because she knows what she was doing was inappropriate. Work husband is considered widely inappropriate now. She knows this. You responded correctly. You owe your actual wife loyalty. Mary needs to back off and act more of a professional. It sounds like Mary has built up your work relationship to be far too significant in her life and genuinely does have a crush on you. This is a danger zone, even though you are clearly not interested in betraying your wife. I would also speak to your line manager/HR about what happened, so if there is office gossip or future bad behavior from Mary, either more unwelcome hugs and implication of your relationship, or her being obstructive to your work after feeling rejected, then you already have the ball in your court. I'd also probably tell your wife about what happened and how you reacted, and that you have made a report about it. This 100%. She knew what she was doing. And instead of apologizing, try to make herself the victim by crying and making you feel bad and guilty about something she did. And the way she tried to spin you removing her from the hug really seals the deal she is trying to guilt you. You politely corrected her and set a boundary in a way that's concise and tried not to make a big deal. She made it a big deal. Maybe I am extra sensitive because my ex cheated on me with someone he joked husband/wife with, and they both guilted me when I said it made me uncomfortable. Lol. You are never the bad person for setting a boundary. Good being loyal and honest. Not the a-hole. I think you were justified that whole time. Unfortunately, alcohol can make things awkward for everyone, but you were made uncomfortable by the extended hug, so you removing her arms from you was understandable. The problem right now is that Mary is only considering her own feelings and not thinking at all how her actions made you feel. She did think that such a public display of affection might make a married man uncomfortable. She is only thinking that you made her look like a creep. And let's be honest, she did kind of look like someone hitting on a married man after drinking too much. Probably because she was, and she's hurt that her feelings aren't being reciprocated. OP needs to stay away. Bingo! That's why she kept going on and on with the roasting. She's proving how intimate and super friendly they were with each other, called him her work husband and then hugged him. I don't know, but in some people's unconscious mind, that is a way of laying claim to someone under the guise of a platonic relationship, but still leave doubt in everyone's mind. That's why she got so butthurt by him setting a boundary with her. If she's gonna call him her work husband and touch him publicly, then he should set the record straight just as publicly. Now for the first update. Thanks everyone for your comments and giving me confidence that I did not do anything wrong or inappropriate. As I was sitting in the office the next day, I knew things would be a bit awkward between Mary and me. Mary ignored me the whole morning. Initially, I was planning to go and apologize to her, but after the post, I decided that I do not need to do that, as I should be the one who was offended. Everyone in the office could see that we were acting weird, and I heard some people gossiping about us. One of the ladies also came to me and asked me if I want to talk about Mary and me. Around 3 p.m. in the afternoon, I was sitting in my office working. Mary came into my office and closed the door behind her. She was angry at me and started saying that I need to stop being an a-hole and stop ignoring her. I told her to sit and to talk about what is going on. She told me that she feels humiliated and everyone has been staring at her the whole morning because of what I did. I also stood my ground and told her that I was okay with her making fun of me, but calling me her work husband and hugging me in front of everyone for a long time made the situation awkward. She told me to get over myself and that I should know exactly what she meant. Mary said that I made a big deal of what was supposed to be a joke and made it awkward for everyone. She said calling someone work husband is a normal thing and just means that she knows me intimately like a spouse would. She said that because we spend so much time traveling together, she knows all the intimate details of how I behave outside work. I stopped her and told her that I felt offended by the term work husband because I have a wife, and I do not want people to use that term to describe our relationship. I told her that she would not understand as she is single, but as a married man, I really do not want anyone to describe me as a husband in any capacity. She said that I am again misinterpreting what she was saying. She felt that as we have known each other more time than I have been married, she knows me more intimately than even my wife. I have no idea why she feels that way. And I also behave like her husband when we travel together. She went on about how we go out to dinners together after work, how I always insist on having breakfast together in morning to plan our actions of the day, and I walk around in my underwear, referring to my gym shorts around her in mornings. She also talked about how we spend hours talking to each other during road trips, and how I am the only man she can trust with any secrets in her life. She said that I am the definition of work husband, and I am just in denial. I was a bit angry at this point. I told her that I do all that because I consider her my friend, and she is delusional if she feels she knows me more intimately than my wife. I told her I do not want to hear that term again, and it is extremely disrespectful to my marriage. Only one woman gets to call me her husband, and that is my wife. Moreover, if my actions are giving her such ideas, maybe we need to stop being friends. She became apologetic afterwards and told me that she did not mean to disrespect my wife, and it was not her intention. She apologized to me and told me to just let it go. She said that she loves traveling with me and she does not want anything to change between us. She again said that I'm misinterpreting her statement and just wants to move on. She came to hug me again, but I just told her it was okay and stepped back. I also talked to my wife about the incident that night. As expected, my wife was angry at Mary and told me that she hates the term work husband. She asked me if Mary has ever flirted with me during our trips or has a crush on me. I truthfully told her that I really have not felt that way, and she may have just said that because she was a bit drunk and is now being stubborn about it. My wife said that she feels a bit uncomfortable about Mary now and says that it's strike one for Mary and I need to try and put more distance between us while traveling. If she ever repeats the same behavior again, I should report her to HR. I promised my wife that I would try to reduce my interactions with Mary outside work hours and be more guarded around her. Not the a-hole. I agree you should go to HR so they're aware of the situation. I would also suggest no more business trips with her if possible. The fact that she claims to know you more intimately than your wife is not only delusional and disrespectful, it's concerning. She's only beginning to show her crazy side. Unfortunately, it's not an option to stop traveling with her. We are a very small team and have to travel together as we monitor projects across the entire state. So going on site with coworkers is necessary. I am debating myself if I should go to HR as I just want to move on. I agree with my wife to make sure this never happens again, as I would be left with no choice then. However, I am willing to mark this as a drunken harmless mistake and move on. You will regret not notifying HR. Mary has already said and done some very unprofessional and inappropriate things. You need to have a paper trail recording them. Not the a-hole. I agree with your wife that you should report this to HR just to cover your rear. Agreed. It's obvious your coworker is up for something else. Also, to avoid arguments between you and your wife regarding this one, listen to her and report your coworker to the HR. Especially after saying he walks around in the mornings in front of her in his underwear when they are actually gym shorts. How many other people has she told this lie to? That part really stood out to me as well. I definitely think a conversation with HR is in order with Mary making false claims like that. Better get the whole situation on their radar before Mary or someone else says something. Second update. Thanks everyone for the comments and explaining the urgency of the situation. I discussed it with my wife and have set up meetings with my manager and HR today. I plan to not file a complaint but document what happened last week and why it made me uncomfortable. I do not have any upcoming travels this week due to holidays, but I have to travel next Tuesday with her to a work site. I will discuss with my manager and what my options are. However, I feel a little distance between Mary and me for some time would be the right solution for now. Last story. My daughter just contacted me after 17 years, asking if I want to meet my granddaughter. Am I the a-hole for telling her that I don't care about her or her daughter and to never contact me again? Going to provide some background. I'm in my 60s now. I was married to my ex-wife and we had a daughter. Our marriage was going through its ups and downs, but I was really close with my daughter. But as our marriage was going through its difficulties, I made a huge mistake I still regret to this day. I started having an affair with my coworker. She was in a violent, physical, abusive relationship at home. We became friends at work, and things just escalated from there. She got an out for me. She got the support she needed to file for divorce from her husband, who is currently in jail now. The affair went nowhere and we called it off shortly after, but I was glad that she got off her abusive relationship and that she was safe. But when my ex-wife found out about the affair, things expectedly didn't go well. She lashed out and said a lot of horrible things about me to our daughter, who is 15 at the time. I admitted full fault with the affair, but even after the divorce, I sensed that the distance between me and my daughter was growing. Until one day, my daughter said she wasn't going to speak with me anymore, and she was going to cut me off from her life forever. That was the most painful thing anyone had ever said to me. I begged her to please reconsider. I still remember that day. But time passed on. My daughter kept her word, and after trying to reconnect with her for the first year, I gave up. I found out from one of my mutual friends that my ex-wife married a great guy. I was happy because I was hoping that would remove the hatred from my ex-wife, and my ex-wife would advise our daughter to at least rekindle a relationship with me. But that never happened. I moved states a year later. I'm at peace now, but still have some aching sadness. I have retired. Both my parents have passed away. My brother passed away tragically a couple years ago. To be honest, I'm waiting for my turn. I've only my dog and my sister left. A couple of hours ago, my daughter called me on my phone. I haven't spoken to her in 17 years. I instantly recognized her voice, but I didn't feel anything. No happiness, no sadness, just indifference. She was crying a lot on a call, and we caught up on life. She's married, and she has a daughter who's now 12. She apologized for cutting off contact, and she says her mom asked her to reconnect with me as her mom felt guilty about how everything played out. She said she really wanted me to meet her daughter, and her daughter was constantly asking about granddaddy. But I wasn't feeling anything. After we caught up with everything in our life, I told her I don't care about her or her daughter and to never contact me again. I then hung up. Was I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the update. It is true no one falls in love faster than two married co-workers. You wouldn't get it. He was saving her. You wanted him to offer a safe space and comfort without getting his junk wet? This is one of the most obvious "you're the a-hole" posts I've seen here. Good lord. He's an a-hole, but he's also an idiot. I read this and thought, oh, he's stupid. Stupid. Dude has zero self-awareness. I hate when adults make very bad adult decisions that affect their children and then blame the children when they respond in a very childlike manner. Your daughter was a teenager. That is a rough time for kids even when their home life is stable. You gave her 1 whole year before you cut bait. You gave up on her. Then you moved away. You told your daughter that she wasn't important enough to fight for and she believed you. Now that she is an adult with a child of her own and has reached out to you, and you again told her she wasn't important to you, she now knows she was probably right to cut you out the first time. It sounds like he's been waiting 17 years to hurt her back, and he finally got his wish. Congrats on a small, pathetic victory. He's totally the a-hole. Now for the update. Look, I was extremely drunk last night. The words which came out of my mouth weren't the best, and my comments in my post weren't great either. Seeing how everyone said I was the a-hole, I decided to call my daughter again an hour ago. I didn't really expect her to pick up the call, but she picked up immediately. I apologized for last night and she said there was no need to apologize. I then sent her a link to this Reddit post on messages and told her I know I was the a-hole. She again said that I wasn't the a-hole. She started crying again. I told her she's free to come to my house anytime the next 4 months, because after that, I will be leaving the country with my sister and our dog. Our parents left us a nice farmhouse in their home country and we will be spending the rest of our lives there. I sent her my address and messages, and my daughter said she'd come with her husband and her daughter by end of next week. She asked if she was welcome to stay there for multiple days, and I told her she could stay for however long she wanted, as our house was spacious enough.